One is completely free, the other runs Hollywood. But which one should you learn in 2026? On one side, you have Blender, open source, zero cost, powerful enough to make full animated films. On the other, Autodesk Maya, the software trusted by major studios, blockbuster movies, and AA game companies. So here's the real question. If you're a beginner, a freelancer, an animation student, or someone switching careers into 3D, where should you invest your time? Because in 2026, time is more valuable than money. Let's break this down properly. The 3D industry is changing fast. More remote work, more indie creators, more AI tools integrated into pipelines. Studios want specialists, but the internet is creating generalists who can build entire worlds alone. Blender has exploded in popularity over the last few years. Meanwhile, Maya is still deeply rooted in professional pipelines across film and animation. This isn't just a software comparison. This is about your career direction. By the end of this video, you'll know which one is easier to learn, which one gives you job opportunities, which one makes sense financially, and most importantly, which one fits your goals. Let's start with the most obvious difference. Blender is free, completely free. You download it, install it, and you're ready to go. No license, no monthly fee, no limitations. That's powerful, especially if you're a student or someone switching careers who doesn't want financial pressure on day one. Now compare that to Autodesk Maya. Maya runs on a subscription model. You pay monthly or yearly. And it's not cheap. For students, there are educational licenses. But for freelancers or professionals, the cost adds up quickly. So financially, Blender wins easily. But here's the catch. Price isn't the same as value. If software helps you land a job that pays well, the subscription may not matter. So pricing matters most if you're self-taught or experimenting, less so if you're aiming for big studios. Now let's talk about how it feels to use them. Blender used to have a reputation for being confusing. Older versions had strange shortcuts and non-standard workflows. But modern Blender has cleaned that up. The interface feels more polished, more intuitive, especially for beginners who've never used 3D software before. Maya, on the other hand, feels structured, professional. It's designed for production environments. Menus are organized in a way that makes sense once you understand pipeline thinking. Here's the honest truth. Blender is easier to start. Maya is easier to master in a structured studio setting. If you're learning from YouTube tutorials at home, Blender feels friendly. If you're learning in a formal animation program or aiming at film studios, Maya's structure prepares you better for that world. When it comes to modeling, both are strong. Blender's modeling workflow is fast. It feels lightweight. You can jump into edit mode instantly. Sculpting tools are built in. Modifiers are powerful and non-destructive. For freelancers creating products, environments, or stylized assets, Blender is incredibly efficient. Maya's modeling is precise. Clean topology tools, advanced retopology features, better integration into studio pipelines where assets move between departments. If you're building props for your portfolio or working solo, Blender feels flexible and modern. If you're modeling for animation films or large game studios, Maya's pipeline compatibility gives it an edge. But in pure modeling power, they're closer than people think. This is where things get interesting. Maya is often considered the gold standard for character animation. Its graph editor, rigging system, and animation layers are extremely refined. Many professional animators prefer Maya's control over motion curves and timing. There's a reason major studios still rely on it. Blender has improved massively in animation. Its grease pencil allows 2D and 3D animation together. Rigging tools are solid. The animation editor is powerful. But if your goal is to become a character animator for films, Maya still has the reputation advantage. Studios know Maya pipelines. Recruiters see Maya on resumes every day. Blender can absolutely produce professional animation, but Maya still dominates studio animation jobs. Blender comes with Cycles and Eevee built in. Cycles is physically accurate and powerful. Eevee is real-time and fast. You don't need extra plugins to start producing cinematic renders. Maya uses Arnold as its main renderer. Arnold is production level. It's used in feature films and high-end VFX. It produces stunning results, but often requires more setup and computing power. For beginners, Blender's rendering feels accessible and immediate. For studios and VFX pipelines, Maya with Arnold fits production standards. If you're creating YouTube animations, freelance work, or portfolio pieces, Blender's rendering is more than enough. This section matters the most if you're switching careers. Maya is still dominant in film, high-end animation studios, and many AAA game companies. If your dream job is working at a major studio, knowing Maya increases your chances. Blender is growing rapidly. Indie studios use it. Freelancers use it. Content creators use it. Even some larger studios are adopting it for certain workflows. But if we're being honest, in 2026, Maya still holds stronger weight in traditional studio hiring. However, the freelance market, Blender is everywhere. So ask yourself, do you want a studio job or independence? Blender runs surprisingly well on mid-range machines. It's optimized and lightweight. Many students use it on average laptops without issues. Maya can be heavier, especially in complex scenes. It benefits from stronger hardware, especially in studio environments. If your setup is limited, Blender might feel smoother overall. Here's the honest answer. If you're starting from zero and testing the waters, choose Blender. It's free, powerful, flexible. You can build a full portfolio without spending a single dollar. If your goal is to work in major animation or VFX studios, learn Maya. Studios recognize it. Recruiters expect it. It aligns with professional pipelines. Now here's something important. Software doesn't make you good. Skill does. A strong animator in Blender will always beat a weak animator in Maya. A creative modeler in Maya will outperform someone who only knows shortcuts. So think long-term. If you want independence, freelancing, YouTube, or game asset creation, Blender is your best entry point. If you want structured studio work in film or large production houses, Maya is the safer bet. And if you're serious about 3D as a career, eventually, you might learn both. Because in 2026, versatility wins. If you're starting from zero, choose Blender. If you want a studio job, choose Maya. Your future in 3D doesn't start with the software. It starts with the decision to begin.